Hello, baking fans. This holiday season, I am back in England and I'm ready for some delicious desserts. Now, I know what you're thinking. With a spice as perfect as me, what could Great Britain possibly have to offer?
An original spice, of course. Alongside our 10 budding bakers, our 2 expert judges, we will leave no stone unturned in our quest to find the best.
Well, I guess we better get to it.
Welcome to
the Great American Baking Show.
This season in the tent, 10 new amateur bakers face off.
I am so excited to be here. I never in a million years imagined I would be standing here.
The moniker that I chose was the Bearded Baker for obvious reasons.
Being an engineer has a lot to do with how I bake. I think I can compete with some of the best in the country.
They will tackle a brand new set of holiday baking challenges.
Today I am making something I have no idea.
Canneling, I don't know, canneling.
Don't mess it up.
Their bakes will be critiqued by 2 expert, award-winning pastry chef Sherry Yard.
I am over the moon to be here. It looks so unctuous. Just want to stick my fork right in it. Go, Sherry. Go, Sherry.
And a man who needs no introduction.
Look terrible. Not neat.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous about Paul Hollywood judging my bakes.
I don't like that. I think the bakers will probably be a little bit scared of me too. There's no need to be, as long as you don't mess up.
That's just mean. In our search to find America's greatest amateur baker,
I'm hoping to go all the way.
I would love to win this.
Actually, I mean, honestly.
there will be heartbreaks.
Okay, no more crying.
There will be handshakes.
I love it.
Biscuits are cookies. Cookies are biscuits.
No, they're just called cookies.
There might be a language barrier.
Snickerdoodle cookies.
What? What person never had a snickerdoodle? British one? Oh my gosh.
But we couldn't be merrier. From the creators of the Great British Baking Show. We are halfway through.
Halfway. It's halfway.
This
I could be doing it completely wrong. Who knows?
is the Great American Baking Show.
I don't have time for soggy bottoms today.
Holiday Edition.
Look, it's Santa. I know him.
This is so exciting.
Don't cry, don't cry.
Welcome to the Big Show Bakers. I'm Emma Bunton, also known as Baby Spice.
And I am former professional football player Spice Adams. And please send all the little extra bakes up to me.
And me. Let us introduce you to 2 baking powerhouses, our judges. Now, he wrote the book on bread, literally. He's also the star of the great, legendary Paul Hollywood.
She is new to the tent, but not a stranger when it comes to the perfect pastry. 3-time James Beard Award winner, Sherry Yard.
For your first signature bake, the judges would like to see a full-sized, single-layer coffee cake. You have 2 hours to present your coffee cake to the judges. On your marks.
Get set, bake!
My gosh, I'm so excited. I can't believe this is happening.
It's exciting being in here baking for the first time. I just hope I get it done in time.
Sherry has been a huge influence in my baking. Meeting her in person is awe-inspiring and something I never even in a million years thought would be possible.
The perfect coffee cake. It's moist, yet the crumb falls apart. So this is a very difficult challenge because you got to balance that.
We're asking the bakers to create a sponge with a swirl of filling. For me, it's about the stark contrast between the sponge and that beautiful filling spiral.
What I hope all the bakers bring is their own personality. This is what makes baking special.
The first step for the bakers is to make their batters.
I have to cream my butter and my sugar first, make sure my ingredients are sifted.
A coffee cake batter is commonly made by creaming butter and sugar, then alternately incorporating flour. This technique helps achieve that perfectly moist cake and delicate crumb Paul and Sherry are looking for.
Good morning, Amanda.
Hello.
What are you doing?
So I'm making a cranberry swirl coffee cake.
And your family enjoyed it?
They enjoyed it. And cinnamon.
The fireman?
The fireman.
You had a fire in your kitchen at the same time.
As a stay-at-home mom, Amanda is able to practice her bakes and share them with her family and neighborhood firemen.
I'm fattening up my fireman.
Her cranberry coffee cake will have a kick of cardamom, a sweet cranberry filling, and be finished with a candied orange peel.
Interesting that you're piping in.
You don't think by forcing batter through the tip it's going to make it more dense?
It hasn't.
Well, good luck and look forward to it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, where am I?
225 grams of dark brown sugar.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ria, you seem nervous.
I'm just overwhelmed with the two of you standing in front of me right now. I'm at a loss for words.
You see,
Oh my goodness.
I'm not the angry man, right?
Thank you. Okay.
We're
thank
teddy
you.
bears, really.
Thank you.
He's so fooling you right now.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
Did that just happen? It's a lot of cookie, huh? It's a big cookie.
I almost ate the apple.
Yeah.
As a mom of four, Andrea has her hands full. Andrea's cinnamon blueberry coffee cake will be filled with fresh blueberries and streusel.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the swirl will be the raspberry, and then the apples will go on top.
One more.
Once it's cut into, I think the swirl will be absolutely beautiful. My great aunt, she means everything to me as far as baking. She taught me everything I know. Wish she was still here with me today, but these are for her. These bakes are for her.
Destiny carries on her great aunt's legacy when hosting her family and friends' dinners every Sunday.
Can I have yours?
No.
Destiny's cinnamon swirl coffee cake with Mexican cinnamon filling with a pecan streusel crumble on top.
It's about the same size as my apartment. If you were to take all my counters and put them together in one, this is probably about the amount of counter space that I have.
Jason's a self-taught baker from Brooklyn, New York. Despite a tiny kitchen, he packs big flavors into his bakes.
This is really, really good.
Jason's sticky toffee coffee cake will feature a swirl of sticky toffee pudding.
Toffee's one of my nan's favorites, actually, so
don't
mess it up.
No pressure.
And how are you?
As long as I can get this in the oven in the next 10 minutes, I should be perfect.
Get ready to put it in the oven soon.
With most of their batters and fillings done, the baker's coffee cakes are ready for the oven.
Good morning, Cheryl. The cake sits underneath what I can see there, a lot of apples. Does that not inhibit its growth at all?
No, I think it comes up to a pretty good height.
Cheryl is a mechanical engineer who approaches her baking with the same scientific mindset she uses at work.
Couple grams, and we'll have it exactly on.
Her apple raspberry coffee cake will have a tart raspberry filling, tangy yogurt icing.
30 minutes left, bakers.
This is gonna be my streusel. You wanna keep big chunks on top so you can get some nice gooiness.
I've got my top crumble layer on. Now I gotta make my decorations.
Cake week is probably my strongest because I bake more cakes than anything else, so I'm hoping this goes off without a hitch.
As a stay-at-home mom, Jill spends her time experimenting and developing new recipes. She likes her colourful personal style and her bakes to stand out. Her cherry almond coffee cake will have a cream cheese baked into the cake.
You're probably waiting for your cake to come out the oven.
I am. So I went ahead and made some quick cherry shortbread for decoration.
Good luck.
Good to meet you guys.
Let's see what we got going on.
Got a couple minutes before I check on it, and then I think 5 more minutes in the oven.
I'm making a boozy Christmas morning coffee cake, so I'm using a lot of Irish cream in there. There's about 200 ml in the whole thing.
Wow.
Chris is a hairstylist living in San Pedro, California. He uses the same creativity in the kitchen as he does in the salon. Chris's boozy Christmas morning coffee cake will have
You're glazing it on the top at all?
Just a little bit. Icing sugar and a little bit more of the Irish cream.
I don't know whether they'll be able to drive after this.
Look at got the gloves on right now. You doing some surgical stuff right here?
Kind of. It's kind of what I do.
Whether in the operating room or the kitchen, John employs the same surgical skill and level of precision. His butter makes it better pecan coffee cake will have a cinnamon and pecan filling and be topped with an almond pine cone.
So I'm a fan of butter pecan ice cream. I kind of wanted to make the cake. Excuse me if I...
You normally have a nasty that day.
Yeah, I know normally, yeah.
I'm a little worried mine's
What
gonna
did
be
you
too
do?
dense now.
What, is yours out?
I ate it.
Smart.
By day, Jeevan is a doctoral research student pursuing his PhD in neuroscience.
If we scroll back here, you can see her cerebellum.
But by night, he is a passionate baker who brings his scientific background to all of his stunning creations. Jeevan's coffee cake will be filled with a mixture of blitzed hazelnuts and coffee grounds and finished with a light dusting of powdered sugar.
It looks amazing.
Thank you.
That would probably be one of my favorites. Don't tell anyone else.
No, it's our secret.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready for your icing? I am baking a double chocolate coffee cake. What's Italian actually about this is that I'm using my hands a lot. If you can, I gotta throw that in there.
Tina got her start in baking, watching her Italian mother and grandmother kick-starting a lifelong obsession with the craft of her own. She keeps the tradition alive by developing new recipes to pass down. Tina's double chocolate coffee cake will feature a walnut and chocolate streusel filling, topped with a decadent chocolate drizzle.
15 minutes.
It's completely raw. Wiggly, like raw wiggly.
Mine was just like that, and it just firmed up.
It's been in for over an hour, Chris. Yeah. It's been in for over an hour, Chris. Yeah.
5 minutes into the coffee cake.
I am so stressed right now.
Oh, really?
Also, it's still completely wet in the middle.
Just happy it came out of the pan without breaking up into a million pieces.
It was looking very risky.
It's okay. It's okay.
I can't believe this. Almost there.
1 minute.
Talk about last minute.
You want some?
I think this will live up to my great aunt standards.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Time's up. Stop baking.
The Bake Creations judged by Paul and Sherry for the very first time.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
Right. It cuts very easily. Overall, I think you created a nice looking cake, actually. I love the line of filling in there.
Wow. I love that crunch on the end. Is that good?
Crunchy's good. I love the crumb, and the cinnamon really rises out and pops.
You've managed to bake something that holds moisture as well, really well. Overall, a decent job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It looks like a classic American coffee cake. It looks like you could put it just in a museum.
Well, my blueberries sunk to the bottom.
It's because you didn't have enough batter underneath. It's soft on the palate, the cake. I love the blueberry. It's like I'm eating a blueberry muffin. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So this is my boozy Christmas morning coffee cake.
It's dropped a bit in the middle.
Yes.
Well, I can taste the booze.
I truly get the Irish cream right away, and the alcohol's evaporating.
I think it's a decent flavoured cake. You've got the nice blend in there. I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that looks impressive.
Thank you.
Looks like it's mildly underbaked.
You really have to have a whole slice and have a piece of hazelnut and coffee in each bite, and you don't get that. You've missed the bake slightly, and you missed the flavours too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
looks so unctuous. Just want to stick my fork right in it.
Thank you.
I love the way the ginger offset with the tartness of the yogurt on top.
Unfortunately, because the amount of liquid in there, it's too gloopy when you eat it, because it almost wells your mouth shut, which in my point, you probably want me to at the moment. I think your flavour is excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that a good thing, the swell through there?
That's what we were looking for, yeah.
I was so concerned. A toffee batter has a tendency of being very pudding-like, and then you were just going to have just catastrophe. It was so successful.
You haven't let me down.
That's good.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, guys.
What happened?
A little trouble getting it out of the pan.
Yeah, it looks like it's been sat on. Let's have a look.
Here we go.
That is akin to a brownie.
Yeah.
You cannot put a mixture like that on a sponge so delicate.
Right,
The whole structure's beginning to fall apart.
I'm tasting. Sweet on sweet on sweet.
Okay.
What happened with this ridge around here?
Don't know.
Do you think it was because it was piped?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like cuts very well.
I adore the spices that are blending side by side together. It becomes a symphony of floral.
Thank you.
That's a great tasting cake.
It's
Thank
so
you.
sweet. I love it.
Thank you.
Very festive.
Very festive, isn't
Very
it?
festive. It's certainly buttery, huh?
There's too much butter in there, if there is such a thing.
When I'm biting in and I'm finding all this luscious butter, I can't find my pecan crunchy woodiness that you normally get in that butter pecan ice cream.
Thank you.
So yours was a little close to the mark, wasn't it?
Yes. Hopefully it's cooked, actually. I mean, honestly.
Let's have a look.
The cake looks really lovely.
It's delicious. I think it's very good.
I love that the cherries marry very well with the almond that's at the bottom with the cream cheese.
It's a clever cake.
Good.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm so relieved. Now we can move on to the next challenge, and then I can...
I am crazy stoked. That was incredible. To hear Paul Hollywood say that he wasn't disappointed, that was that was huge.
Of course, it's a little disappointing to get bad feedback, but I absolutely have so much more to prove. I'm a better baker than what you saw today. Hopefully, I'll be focused for the technical.
The bakers could prepare for the signature bake, but the second bake is a total surprise. A hand-picked recipe by Sherry that the bakers have never seen.
It's time for the technical challenge. Now, Sherry, this is your first technical challenge, and you have chosen a flourless chocolate cake topped with a golden brown meringue.
This seemingly simple dessert can be deceptively difficult.
The judges will critique the results blindly, not knowing who made what. So now the judges exit, judges skedaddle.
You have 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Get set, bake.
Sherry has gifted the bakers with everything necessary to make one of her favourite recipes. However, she's kept the recipe intentionally vague to test their baking expertise.
I was glad when I heard it's a flourless chocolate cake because I've made a couple of those before.
I've never made a flourless cake. And I haven't made the meringue before either.
Sherry, why have you chosen a flourless chocolate cake as the first technical
A
challenge?
lot of little nuances they have to watch out for. It's not easy to bake a chocolate cake. The color is deceiving, so you really can't tell if it's cooked through and through. Look at all the beautiful foaming that goes on in the meringue. You don't want to add that sugar too quickly, then it's going to be a dense meringue, and then you won't have billowy clouds.
For a first technical challenge, you're cruel, Sherry.
Thank you.
With the clock ticking, the bakers all begin with their cake batter.
We've got chocolate and butter that needs to be melted together as a base. So basically the eggs are what's gonna create that dense richness of that cake.
I've got my melted chocolate and butter. I'm at the stage where I'm beating the eggs and sugar, and then I'm gonna pour that into the pan and get it into the oven.
Not paying attention. I caught it.
To keep as much air in the cake mixture as possible, bakers need to gently combine the eggs and melted chocolate. But the recipe does not say how best to do so.
I'm folding it because I'm trying to keep all of the air that I just whipped into the egg whites.
1 hour.
Going in.
Sherry's recipe gives the bakers a temperature, but not a baking time. The bakers must rely on their own experience to know just when to take the cakes out.
It just says bake until slightly firm to the touch.
Try 15 minutes, see what that does.
It's been so long since I've made one of these, but I really want to get it out to cool.
I think I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes.
I don't know. I'm nervous.
Just says make French meringue, which thankfully I know it.
Just put the cream of tartar in. I'm going to very slowly start adding the sugar in.
For the perfect French meringue, I think you wanna make sure you have nice stiff peaks.
The peak should stand up.
Have you ever put it on top of your head to see if it sticks and then it's ready? Let me try it. Ah! It's ready!
Spoon the meringue over the cake, creating lots of wisps and peaks.
Looks like a bad hair day.
With time running out, the cakes are back in the oven in hopes of getting a golden brown meringue.
All right, here she goes.
You have 15 minutes left.
La 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 la.
We are so close.
Just gonna let it cool before I try to take it out of the pan.
I don't know, it's overhang. I don't know how I'm gonna get it out.
I like the color. I think this is a golden brown.
Looks good.
Bakers, you have 1 minute left.
I do know how to use a knife.
I'm just gonna keep.
Woo! I messed up.
5, 4, 3, 2.
1. Time is up.
Bring your bakes forward and place them by your pitcher.
Looking for a thoroughly baked flourless chocolate cake, topped with a perfectly toasted light but stable meringue. Sherry and Paul will judge the technical challenge blindly, not knowing who baked which cake.
Let's start over here. 1. There's a lot, isn't there? Bleeding coming from this meringue.
So the sugar looks to have separated from the whites.
Wow, a lot of it is stuck. That hasn't been baked, has it? It tastes good. If it was a mousse, the flavour is okay, but that base I have a serious issue with. Moving on. You can see the big in there running down the middle.
The sugar wasn't incorporated perfectly.
The base is more fudge-like.
This one feels firmer.
And the flavour's good. Mm-hmm. Moving on. That meringue is very, very good.
Yeah,
it's
that
smooth.
shininess. Oh, that you can
It
hear.
sounds good.
Yeah, it does that.
But unfortunately, it's underbaked in the middle.
Oh.
Now, moving on, the big issues with the meringue here, the mixing of the meringue, the preparation of the meringue, the baking of the meringue. And then it's baked just on the outside again, underbaked in the middle. And the meringue's not bad. Let's have a look and see what the inside's like. Slightly underbaked again.
If you pull the end off, you can see this is the way the whole cake should be through and through.
Moving on. Look at the shine on that.
Beautiful.
But it hasn't been in the oven long enough.
It takes about 20 minutes.
But the flavours are good. Don't be afraid to put colour on a meringue.
Color equals flavor.
Okay. Interesting layout of the meringue.
Slice is nice.
Quite a stable slice. The meringue is okay up to about a quarter, and then the rest of it's very soggy. Now, big issues. Has this been dropped on the floor? But it's deaf strong, and there is some stability in that. I don't think that's too bad. Okay, let's have a look inside.
The air pockets in the meringue
Yeah,
and the toasty on top. The meringue is beautiful.
that's delicious.
You can see the pockets of air on the chocolate cake. I started to wonder whether or not the recipe was right until this one.
Let's have a look at this one.
Look how gorgeous. Ah, look at
Yeah.
the pockets of air in the meringue. And the meringue held up very well.
Very good. Okay.
So we will begin with last place and work our way up to first.
10th spot, we have this one. Whose is this? What happened?
Never made either before, so.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Cheryl is 9th, Jill is 8th, Tina is 7th, Amanda is 6th, Destiny is 5th, Jason is 4th, and Chris is 3rd.
Number 2. Whose this? It was baked beautifully coming down, the consistency was good, and you nearly had it.
Which leaves us with number 1. And whose is this? Well done. The cake itself is perfectly cooked, and the meringue, how beautiful. Perfect.
Thank you. To have the technical go well is really, it's allowing me to bounce back, I think.
Make sure you go home, get some rest, because tomorrow you will be back with your first showstopper.
It's never good to be in last. I really got to do well tomorrow if I'm going to stay in this competition.
I think I'm gonna go home and pass out. It's so important for me to make sure that I present a really great showstopper. I don't want to go home, and I want to make sure that I can do everything I can to make that happen.
We call it showstopper for a reason. If you really bomb your showstopper, it could overshadow your first 2 bakes. It's anybody's game.
Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Who do you think is going to be the star baker?
Off the top of my head, Jason is in a pretty strong position going into the showstopper. He's been pretty constant across the signature and in the technical.
Andrea, if she can just harness those nerves, she might just soar.
Who is not?
I think Tina and John are in a precarious position coming into the showstopper.
Jeevan struggled with that signature. And then Jill on the other side was a flop in the technical. So the showstopper will be the game changer for him.
There's no room for error in the showstopper.
Bakers, for your showstoppers, the judges are looking for 18 classic mini cakes.
Now, these mini cakes have to have at least 2 layers of sponge and filling in between.
And all 18 have to be identical to each other, because the other 17 are going to talk about them behind their back. I know people like that. Yeah.
I know. You have 3.5 hours on your marks.
Get set, bake.
I'm definitely nervous today. I'm not feeling as confident as I was yesterday, but I'm gonna press through and I'm just gonna do my best.
In America, everything, the bigger the better, so we're not used to really making anything in miniature form.
We're challenging the bakers really on going from 2 or 3, which they may make at home, to 18. For me, it's their first step from that sort of arena of amateurish into that arena of professionalism. They've got to look great.
The key to these mini cakes is going to be the filling for me. Too much filling, and then it might ooze out. Too little filling, and you don't have enough flavor.
Hi, Andrea. Hi, how are you? I love her face. Every time we come in, she's like, hi.
It's like a rabbit in headlamps.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your cakes, please?
My chocolate cake recipe is actually a cake recipe. I based most of my cake recipes off of that one original recipe.
Andrea's great-grandma Grace's chocolate cake will be layered with strawberry jam and a vanilla buttercream.
I like the idea of the combinations.
Yeah. Good.
Thank
Yay. Yay.
My first showstopper, I'm making as a tribute to my father-in-law. His favorite cake was a date nut cake. Dates and nuts are the 2 primary ingredients for flavor, so it's not going to be an overwhelmingly sweet cake.
John's stronger than steel date nut cake will be layered with piped Italian butter with a single sugared cranberry.
When I've made this before, I've overbaked it, and I made it before, it's been undercooked, so now's the time where it has to be perfect, so...
I see you're starting with your nuts now.
Yes, they're going into my pumpkin pecan spice cakes.
Tina's pumpkin pecan spice cakes will be layered with orange meringue buttercream and cranberry compote.
I thought about it last night. I listened to your advice. Too much sweet. Hopefully the tartness of the cranberries will play with the sweetness of the rest of the dessert.
We've got pumpkin spice here.
Yeah,
pumpkin spice, there you go.
Today I'm actually doing a naked style.
What's naked style cake?
These cakes will only have a topping on and they'll be naked,
Oh,
so you'll
naked.
see the middle.
Oh, isn't that risky? What if the sponge isn't perfect? It's scary.
I am being very careful right now.
Good.
Chris's chocolate peanut crunch cakes will showcase 2 layers of peanut buttercream and a crunchy peanut brittle.
All right, I'm going to go in the oven.
I am baking the cakes a little bit thicker, so the bake time is a little bit of a concern.
A mocha round, and that is a Dobosh sponge with a mocha Swiss buttercream.
I am lost. Hold on. I didn't understand any of that.
It's a different language, right?
Yeah.
It's a cake. It's a small cake.
Amanda's holiday mocha rounds will be filled with 2 layers of mocha Swiss buttercream and finished with sliced almonds.
So you got mocha as the main killer flavour in this.
Yes.
How is that holiday season with mocha?
Christmas morning, coffee, I don't know.
So you don't drink mocha any other time of the year, just on Christmas Day?
Yeah, in my house. That's what we're gonna go with.
Good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning.
Good
How are you guys
morning.
doing?
Can you tell us all about your mini cakes, please?
Every year I make ginger cookies. So ginger was one of the first things I thought of in terms of turning it into a Christmas cake, and I added the orange juice and orange zest to it.
Cheryl's ginger orange cakes will be infused with ginger and feature an orange rum buttercream and cranberry filling.
I just finished putting together my mascarpone cheese filling for the tiramisu. I whipped it up to stiff peaks. The structure and stability is going to be key to this, so definitely wouldn't want this.
Jeevan's mini tiramisu cakes will be layered with a mascarpone cheese filling and garnished with a chocolate snowflake.
Piping the caps of the mushrooms and put little white dots of white meringue on top of that.
My candied lemons take quite a while because you really want the rinds to get as soft as possible.
Jill's lemon sunshine mini cakes will be filled with cream cheese frosting and blackberries and garnished with a candied lemon peel.
We seem to be quite calm.
I'm like a robot. Everybody calls me a robot.
I think you're more like on a river. It's still, but
Okay.
underneath there's little legs
Yes,
like
that is me. I'm panicking inside.
These are for the top. I have to pick the pretty ones out.
Destiny's triple chocolate raspberry cakes will feature a chocolate cake with chocolate mousse and a chocolate ganache.
I am going to lightly brush these gold. This adds a little bit more of a holiday feel.
1 hour to go.
Ooh, those are hot.
I think I'm in a pretty good place. Just got to get these cakes cooled and I can cut them and get everything put together.
Jason's chocolate chestnut Yule stumps will have a chestnut buttercream filling covered in a chocolate ganache glaze.
Your sponge cake, it seems very tall.
I'm going to enjoy you cutting up this thing. You're going to be there a while.
As long as I get it nice and cold, it's easy to cut.
I'm gonna start my layering, and I'm just gonna do a quick cake syrup brush.
I'm just doing a little cut, so when I actually go to cut the individual pieces, I know I'm gonna get 18 out of it.
They're not even cooked. They've been in there for like almost 40 minutes. I mean, it sank. They've just totally flattened out and they're raw. They're not even cooked. They've been in there 40 minutes. They're raw. I'm starting again and I'm making a totally different cake. Got to fight. These take less time to bake, so that will really, really help.
While Tina gets her new cake batter into the oven, the rest of the bakers have moved on to their assembly.
Bakers, we have 30 minutes left.
No, I don't think this is gonna work. The cakes, because they're warm, they're crumbling a little bit.
I like to build it separately to just ensure that it's not gonna go, even though it still may go.
15 minutes.
They rose. They're beautiful. Do I have 18?
I think I'm gonna have to be speedier than I would like while assembling.
Definitely stressing out a little bit right now.
The cake's crumbling while I'm trying to put the frosting on. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It's gonna be a photo finish.
1 minute left.
These are basically going as is. I don't think I have time to do much else.
10, 9, 8,
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up! Jill, You're up first.
Well, I see you've got 18.
Are they designed to look like bread sandwiches?
Yeah, I wanted them to look naked and a little rustic.
The first thing I think of is that that's a lot of cake to the amount of filling. I'm concerned about the flavor we're going to taste. The crumb looks beautiful.
Mm. It can weld your mouth a little bit shut.
You know, I was right about the amount of cream and the candied lemon on the top. The rind has become very leathery and unedible.
When I was in school and I did something naughty on my homework in school, my teacher used to write on the bottom, "See me."
Oh.
I'm doing that on yours on this one. I think your piping work is exceptional.
Thank you.
Your mini cake looks very finished. From the layers of the cake to your chocolate. The buttercream, as buttercreams go, it's perfect.
I think you've done a good job.
Thank you very much.
Finishing the tiramisu with the chocolate flake was very adventurous.
I think they look great.
Espresso soak is just enough that brings the coffee flavor out.
I could eat a whole one of those very easily.
Thank you.
Just think it looks a bit awkward.
Okay.
Well, you did get some good piping. And the cranberry complements the ginger really well for me.
I just wish I closed my eyes when I came up to the table. Thank you very much indeed. I actually think they look quite elegant. It's a shame they're not bullet straight. Let's try one, shall we?
I love the buttercream. The peanut with the powder that you use is pretty genius.
Thank you.
Look terrible. Not neat.
I know.
But let's see what they taste like.
The raspberry just has this finish that cleans up that chocolate.
Love that flavour. You need to be neater. Concentrate on the appearance of something, the way it looks. That just winds me up. It would be nice to get these almonds broken to be scaled to the size of the cake.
The cream is beautiful. It's very delicate on the flavor of the coffee, but because the cake isn't as rich in toasty flavor, it doesn't come together as well as it could have.
Great. Thank you.
It looks like you've got lots of filling, the richness coming from the chocolate. I want to eat one. It tastes beautiful. It really does.
It's truly a party in my mouth. I know that I'll wake up tomorrow dreaming about this cake.
Thank you.
You had a little difficulty today, huh?
A little bit. Tastes good. I get a lot of rising agent, and it sort of ruined the flavour.
Okay.
You're tasting with the glaze.
I'm
though.
tasting it with the glaze. It's much better.
It's a shame that we weren't able to get this glaze on all 18.
Yeah.
It would have helped.
Tina, please bring your mini cakes to the judging table.
Did you switch things out on us? I remember when we visited, there was a pumpkin cake involved.
Yes, there was. I switched gears. I made a chocolate cake that I have right up here. I didn't need a piece of paper. My autumn harvest cakes.
They're perfect. They look perfect. Your piping is beautiful.
That could go in the shop window of any bakery in America.
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, a little surprise inside as
A little
well.
surprise.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
If you bake a lot, you do retain recipes in your head. That's the mark of someone who understands baking at its core.
Comeback queen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great.
I think in the showstopper, who do you think did the best?
I have to say Andrea, because she's been one of the most consistent over the 3 challenges.
If we take a look at Jeevan, he's brought it. When he did his tiramisu, it looked beautiful and it really was festive. And the technical, he really nailed that recipe.
So who's on the hot seat?
It's disappointing to see someone like Jill, for example, who just doesn't have a good 2 days.
Right.
You know, you've got to question Jason. In the showstopper, that's pretty poor for Jason. I expected much more from him. I mean, John's had a better day, but this first day was pretty bad. Has he done enough to... That's something that Sherry and I have to talk about.
The baking in this tent has been so impressive, and this has made it very, very difficult for our judges to choose a star baker.
Our very first star baker is Andrea. Congratulations, Andrea.
Now, as the new girl on the block, it breaks my heart to the person leaving us. Is Jill.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I'm definitely happy I got here. I mean, it was a huge experience for me. I did the best I could. And my biggest fans are waiting for me at home, my family.
You have a talent. You have a big talent, so don't worry. I think Jill started very well in the signature, but unfortunately coming 8th in technical and failing to come up with something decent in the showstopper put her in a position.
Get a hug in there. Congratulations. I mean, Star Baker's great. Don't get me wrong. I am going to relish this moment the rest of my life. However, I did come here to win.
Andrea was the first star baker because she was consistent, and that's what's most important. From her signature to the technical, which wasn't easy, and then the showstopper with all those layers of flavors just brought it home.
If you wanna be my baker, you gotta...
Spice, what are you doing?
Okay, my dream
Right.
is to be Chubby Spice.
Well, I think your dream is a reality. Welcome to the Great American Baking Show Holiday Edition.
Oh, man.
Last time in the tent.
This is so exciting.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Andrea had her cake.
One more.
And ate it too.
Tonight I'll go home and I'll wake up tomorrow dreaming about this cake.
As she was the first to earn the title of star. And despite a rough start for some of the bakers,
There's too much butter in there, if there is such a thing.
I'm concerned about the flavor.
it was Jill who was first to leave the tent. Now the 9 remaining bakers are ready to throw down. It's time to see who will be at the top
I don't like that.
Oops.
I love it.
and who will be at the soggy bottom.
Oh.
In Pastry Week.
I don't want to hear soggy bottom anymore.
It does have a soggy bottom.
All right.
Okay, Spice, are you ready for the challenge?
Croissant.
Yes.
Cupcake.
No.
Oh, okay. Apple pie.
Yes. Hey, you've got this.
We got this. It's Pastry Week.
You guys ready?
Another day.
They are ramping up the difficulty this week. You can be friends with pastry. It's not always your friend. Being star baker last week definitely adds a little bit of pressure. I mean, I set a bar for myself, and I really need to make sure that I keep doing what I know and trust myself.
So welcome to Pastry Week. Sherry and Paul are looking for a full-sized slab pie.
The slab pie you will be making has to have filling baked inside its short crust.
But of course, they must have a holiday flair. So you have 2 hours on your marks.
Get set, bake.
Oh, sugar salt's amenable.
Most things that you do in baking are high maintenance, but pastry in particular, it takes a lot of detail.
I want to see a flaky pastry. I want to see with a beautifully decorated top.
The most common problem when baking slab pie is temperature and time. The bake on the slab pie should be golden brown. You don't want a soggy bottom.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
How are you guys?
What's your slab pie?
This is a staple recipe that you would find at my grandparents' restaurant in northern Georgia.
Chris's chocolate rye pecan pie will have a bourbon pecan filling baked in a crust that's far from traditional.
So this is a combination of rye flour and all-purpose flour.
I feel like you're making them nervous. They're not making you nervous, are they? You're making them nervous.
They're making me question myself.
Well, for me, it's very different. I've never had anything like that before.
I'm excited because the rye is certainly going to add a different flavor, and it's not going to be your typical sweet on sweet pecan pie.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
My grandmother and my mom have passed, and this pecan pie has a special place in my heart. It reminds me of them.
Amanda's Grandma Minnie's Texas pecan pie keeps its short crust and a classic pecan pie filling.
I have little clumps of butter in there that I want to keep solid, and so I don't want to overwork it and start to melt that butter in there. That's just, you know, what Grandma said. I'm gonna get this in the fridge.
If the bakers fail to chill their dough before baking, the butter will prematurely melt into the dough, hindering any chance of achieving a perfectly even flaky crust.
Everything's better with butter.
It's crucial the bakers use every minute of cooling time to perfect their filling.
Pecan pie happening today. The doctor has pecan. I think Amanda has pecan. Somebody else has pecan too, maybe Cheryl.
What's going on there?
Right now, I'm making the caramel for a caramel pecan slab pie. Ooh, this is what happens.
Do you want me to clean them for you?
This is what happens.
Cheryl's caramel will be mixed with toasty pecans for a signature pie finished with an elegant full leaf decoration.
So traditionally, every year I make a pecan caramel chew bar. So I've taken that and turned it into a pie version. So for me, it's a holiday flavor.
Is this something doing then?
Yes, I do, yeah. So
No nerves today?
No, I didn't say that, yeah.
Cheryl isn't the only baker embracing the fall.
I'm from upstate New York, so we have quite a few apple orchards near us, and picking apples is a tradition that we do in our family.
Andrea's classic holiday apple pie features both Granny Smith and Braeburn apples and a hint of cinnamon in her crust.
One of the tricks is to try to get the whole apple core in one knife swoop. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Look at that. Eh?
Ooh. And one got away.
And there goes a rollaway lemon.
Nurse.
Hi,
Good morning. You're making a right mess.
You came at the right time. I am doing a chocolate bourbon pecan pie.
Oh, yes, I can smell the...
I love the flavor of bourbon. It reminds me of my grandfather.
John's pie will have a grandpa-sized serving of bourbon in his pecan filling and be topped with ganache. Once it has completely cooled, the bakers will roll and shape their dough.
Our bottom crust is sufficient. I don't have time for soggy bottoms today.
They have the option to blind bake, which means baking their crust with no filling first to improve its texture and taste.
In America, we call these pie weights. This ensures that the pie doesn't inflate and bubble up when I'm cooking it.
Bakers who choose not to blind bake run the risk of having the dreaded soggy bottom.
You can see it's got sort of a marbled effect, and that's because I go for 2 phases of dough, and hopefully what that does is ends up with a nice flaky crust.
It's interesting. I've seen this tassel, and does it actually work? But it'd be fascinating to see what happens.
Just don't run out of time.
Jeevan's slab pie will showcase an intricate lattice design on top of a strawberry rhubarb filling.
I'm gonna pour my filling in and put it in the oven. It looks good.
Bakers, we're halfway there.
1 hour left.
We're going to make sure no soggy bottoms happen today.
I don't want to hear soggy bottom anymore. Nightmares.
Whether or not they have chosen to blind bake, all the bakers get to work on their decorative top crust.
I am a bit of an ambitious baker, sometimes to my detriment.
Jason's ugly sweater slab pie will have a layer of spiced apples and cherries bundled up under a decorative sweater topping.
The entire top is going to be an ugly sweater.
Yep. Or, as you guys might call an ugly Christmas jumper. I thought it would be a fun decorating idea for my
I love a Christmas jumper. Brilliant idea.
I'm gonna start my crust for the top. The braids, the focal point of my design.
Destiny will have to perfect a time-consuming 17 braids on top of her strawberry and rhubarb filling.
Oh, look, you've started plaiting already.
I've been braiding for many, many years. I'm good at it.
You're good at this.
Look forward to it. Thank you very much,
Thank
Destiny.
you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
This has to get in the oven as soon as possible. I have a template of a pear with a partridge in the middle, so we're taking a little inspiration from the 12 Days of Christmas, so it should turn out pretty good.
Tina's slab pie, filling of cinnamon, pears and lingonberries, and a festive partridge in a pear tree.
I'm using lingonberries.
You have added sugar to that because they can be quite bitter.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are. They're very bitter.
I'm gonna put this back.
With it being this wet, that's kind of why I blind baked it.
Okay, done. I think having a good bake is more important than doing all the frillies on top.
Is everybody in the oven? Yeah.
Why did I decide to braid? Why did I decide to braid?
Jeevan.
Doing the lattice work took up a lot of time, but I just went for it.
Bakers, only half an hour left.
Jeevan, you all right?
Good to go.
Are you praying that it's
I'm
baking?
praying it bakes. Keep the oven door shut.
I know. It's getting there. Oh, they're really tart. Ugh.
Ugh, come on.
Cheryl, how we doing over there?
It's going good.
You going good?
Yes.
All right,
it
I
is.
like the confidence
Yeah,
right there.
she
I like
seems very confident,
Yeah.
Steph.
I like it.
Bakers, 15 minutes left.
Yeah, we like a duo, man. Yeah, you gonna sign me?
No.
It's looking a little lumpy, but who doesn't look a little lumpy when they wear a sweater? 5 more minutes.
Take it out in 2 minutes, maybe 3. Maybe 3.
Going.
If I keep them in here, then people won't see that I'm actually really shaking.
1 minute left. I can't watch.
Oh no, 1 minute.
It's judgment time.
I'm gonna leave it into the last second.
You're making me really nervous.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up!
Guys!
Signature slab pies are ready for Paul and Sherry to taste.
Hi, Destiny. Hello.
Hello.
It's a bit messy. I was expecting more linear. I like precision.
It slices beautifully. It really does.
It does. But it's holding together as one piece.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does have a soggy bottom.
Even though the lattice wasn't perfect, the dough itself tasted nice.
I think it does look festive, like a picture. That's like.
I love that it's gooey, and there is just a whisper of rye that's in there.
Okay.
It's a daring thing using rye in a pastry like that, but I think it's worked. Good job.
Thank you.
I can't argue. That's the ugliest sweater.
Would you wear something like this?
I have worn things like this before.
I think the cherries work well, a little bit of tartness in there as well. The apples are underdone.
The cinnamon and the spice is just a little too much.
Okay, very much.
Thank you.
Pretty thick on the pastry.
It has this wonderful fudgy caramel flavor, almost candy-like. It's just such a shame that you weren't there with the pastry.
Yeah.
Leave it in the oven longer. It looks like a big old rustic apple pie. Your filling is perfect. There's beautiful acidity. It's just this darn crust.
You see how thick it is?
I do.
It's a shame. I think the effect, but it's down to the bake.
Oh, look at yours. Looks so festive.
You've managed to get a good flake on that. But the fork just runs through it as if it's not baked at all. Did you blind bake?
No.
You needed to blind bake your base. You would have ended up with something that would have tasted better, and you would have had fantastic textures in there as well.
You kept it simple.
I did.
But let's just see what it's going to be like underneath.
All right.
It's raw.
Oh.
And what temperature was the oven?
325.
That's why. That's why.
It's not high enough.
The doughs need to bake at least 400 degrees.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I love the look. It's very festive, and it really says the holiday season.
Love the design, partridge in a
Thank
pear
you.
tree.
Yep.
Did you blind bake it?
Yes, I did. I did blind bake it before I put the filling in.
Well baked underneath. That's tart.
That's tart.
Oh, yeah. It's a very bitter, tart berry. After a couple of minutes, the sort of burning sensation, which is because it's so strong.
The burning.
The burning.
Cut it out. I'm not gonna let you feed me. I'm not gonna feed you. Why you put it up in my... You're not... Oh, there you go. Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's all very Christmassy, very simple, but effective.
The glaze looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I think you've got just the right amount of bourbon in there. And the crunch with the pecan and chocolate.
Thank you.
Oh, we got the handshake.
I like that a lot.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I am super excited. I couldn't have asked for anything better today.
Paul and Sherry are hard to please sometimes. When they said that I had a soggy bottom, my heart sank a little bit, but we have the technical and the showstopper, and I think they will hopefully go well.
After mixed reviews on their slab pies, some bakers are hoping for redemption.
It is now time for the technical bake, which is really just our version of the pop quiz.
Bakers, you are making a savoury shallot and thyme tart tatin. Now, because this is a blind challenge, we are going to be asking Sherry and Paul to leave the tent. You have 2 hours and 15 minutes. On your marks.
Get set, bake.
I have not baked the tart tatin before. Gonna see how this comes out.
It's exciting, a new recipe for me.
Oh, I'm nervous about this one. Savory's not my thing.
So, Paul, tell me, why did you choose a shallot tart tatin for the technical challenge?
I actually think they're delicious. And
You wanted lunch.
It's nice to have something savoury. We're testing them on several things. How to cook out the shallots is one. You want that sweetness to come from the shallots, but you don't want the bitterness that can come from an overburnt caramel. You have to make a great rough puff pastry. So you're creating all these layers of dough, butter, dough, butter, dough, butter, dough. If they do not chill in between each one, the butter will tend to come out. So it's about keeping it nice and cold. Try this, it's very special.
Heavenly.
It's a very tricky challenge.
I'll eat to that.
For the rough puff pastry, I'm going to mix the flour and the salt together in a bowl, and then I'm going to rub in the chilled butter.
Woo! That's some cold butter. Add enough water to form dough.
I am on step 2. I'm rolling it into a rectangle.
The next thing I'm doing is I'm grating the frozen butter, which I'll put in between the layers of dough.
To make sure you get the layers right, you have to chill between your lamination.
Laminating is the process of folding cold butter into dough multiple times. Once baked, the frozen butter steams and results in a pastry with hundreds of flaky layers.
The pastry's really not forgiving.
1 hour left.
It's looking all right.
With half the baked time, bakers have their pastry dough chilling.
I wish I could rest in the refrigerator like my dough.
I am at the shallot stage. It says add the sugar, honey, vinegar, water, and salt, and reduce. The trick here is going to be figuring out how long to reduce, because it doesn't say exactly.
I'm just kind of going by smell and by look. Oh my gosh, they're making me cry.
Making my dough again. I didn't like the way it felt and was rubbery, so I'm gonna start it again. The time's a concern now.
Once the shallots have browned, it's time to cover them with the
The instructions tell you roll out the pastry, cut it into a circle, and place over the shallots and tuck.
I want to get it perfect this time, even though I don't know how it's supposed to look.
I'm not sure if I want to put cold puff pastry on top of very hot onions. So I want to remove it from the pan and let it cool. I'm kind of flying blind a little, just a little bit.
So I'm putting the pastry on, I'm kind of tuck it in kind of around the shallots.
In the oven.
All right, it's in.
Are the people still cooking?
Give it the good vibes.
Okay.
How are you feeling about this one?
Vibes.
You know, it could go either way.
The bakers must use only their intuition to determine the proper baking time.
So this is just kind of a wait and see game.
I'm really tired of underbaking things. I'm gonna try to err on the side of more time in the oven.
I'm nervous about it. It's in the oven, no turning back now.
So how you doing on this?
I'll tell you after.
I'm waiting for golden brown goodness.
Darker brown, the better.
It's a game of oven chicken. Who's gonna take theirs out?
Bakers, we only have 5 minutes left.
And I'll just let it cool as much as possible before flipping it over.
The bakers must decide the exact right moment to flip their dish. If flipped too quickly, the shallots could fall apart. If flipped too late, the caramelization could harden, causing the pastry to stick to the pan.
Maybe I'll flip it while it's warm.
Oh.
1 minute left. 1 minute.
This was all very nerve-wracking.
I'm afraid to look.
I don't know, it's very dark.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
We'll see.
Paul and Sherry are looking for a tarte tatin with sweet caramelized shallots and a rough puff pastry with flaky layers.
Okay, let's start over here.
The color's beautiful.
It's crispy on the base. The textures are all there in the right places.
This looks very molassesy.
They've overcooked the shallots.
Look at that.
Pastry's flaky, but it's bitter because it's burnt.
Yeah.
Bit of a tanned caramelization on this. It's very dark. The lamination is there.
Oh, look at this on the side. How beautiful.
There's a bitterness to it. There's a sharpness to it. Not a sweetness. Moving on. This is a better color, so it's more caramel.
Great flakiness.
That's sweet.
Mm.
That's how it should be. I mean, that's like almost biscuit-like.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about the lamination on this one.
The baker actually worked the butter in too much, so it just kind of went
Probably
right
fold
into
it
the
and
dough.
it's split off.
Yeah.
Has that bitter edge to it as well. Okay, moving on. What is that? It hasn't laminated.
It's very original.
It is original.
Very original.
Absolutely. Very burnt on the outside. Bone dry. Overbaked.
Mm-hmm. It's cracker-like.
It is. It's like a cracker, exactly. The outside is very dark. If you take that away and just look at the interior, that's the right colour. If they rolled it a bit thinner, it would have puffed up a little bit more. It's a bit thick. You see some gorgeous layers there. Colour's not beautiful dark caramel.
Oh, look at that. It's talking to you. See
And
it?
you can see the layers.
Hello.
It's a bit soft at the bottom, but the sweetness is there. The butteriness is still there. That's interesting.
Okay, we'll start with 9th place and work our way down to number 1.
In 9th spot is this one. Whose is this? What happened?
I overworked the dough at the beginning, incorporating the butter and the water.
And that's why it ended up like a cup.
Yeah.
8th. Whose is this?
Destiny is in 7th place, Tina 6th, Andrea 4th, and Amanda is 3rd.
And 2nd. Pretty well done. You're almost there.
So, in 1st place is this one. Jason. The pastry is still buttery, which is great. And it's a little bit flaky as well. That was a very good tarte tatin. Well done.
Did that just happen? Did I just get 1st place in a pastry week technical?
Being on a roller coaster is emotionally draining, you know, being really happy and then being upset. Part of me wants just more of an even ride for a while.
So is there anyone that you can think of that if they don't perform well in the showstopper, they're going home?
You have Destiny, you have Cheryl, Tina's been up and down, and then Jeevan. So anyone can go home.
Actually, Jason did very well in the technical challenge, but unfortunately, he didn't do very well in the signature.
And John did really well in the signature, not in the technical.
And when you say to me, who's in trouble, who's going to be star baker, do you know what? For the first time, I've absolutely...
Our next question.
I can't help you, I'm sorry.
So, this is your final challenge in Pastry Week.
For your showstoppers, the judges are looking for 24 eclairs. 2 different flavors, 12 of each.
Your eclairs have to be made of a pâté choux, filled with a pastry cream base, and we'd like them to be iced or glazed. You've got 4 hours for this challenge. On your marks.
Get set, bake.
Right now, I'm just getting together the dough for my pâte choux, which is the pastry of my eclair. When it bakes, it creates a really hollow inside if it's done properly.
An eclair is basically a pâté choux or a choux pastry. What we're looking for is to bite through a beautiful, decorated, flavoured top, a crispy eclair, and a gorgeous filling inside.
This showstopper has so many landmines out there, from the way they pipe to the way they're gonna bake, and then the fillings, because of course it's all about flavor.
Put flour out of there. Don't want it to taste like flour. Starts pulling away from the sides, it's done.
Morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jason.
Oh, interesting.
My eclairs are called après-ski eclairs.
Do you ski?
I stay down at the ski lodge and drink hot chocolate and hot toddies, which is what my eclairs are based off of.
Jason's hot chocolate eclair will be made with a chocolate choux dough and filled with a hot chocolate crème pâtisserie. His hot toddy eclair will feature a honey lemon curd filling with a toasty burb.
So you're doing 2 different choux pastes. We didn't ask you to do that.
No, you did not.
Daring Jason once again.
It's all about the timing, getting it look good. This is a showstopper.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Growing up at Christmas time, maple syrup was always part of our holidays with our holiday ham and having pure maple syrup, and my grandfather always made maple syrup.
Once again, Andrea is bringing her family traditions to her bake. Her maple eclair will be glazed with candied maple sugar and walnuts, while her chocolate espresso eclair will be topped with a hazelnut praline crumble.
Ooh, I almost just made a big mistake. I measured 2 cups of sugar instead of 2 teaspoons of sugar, which is a huge difference. Like, there's no way of getting around that. So I would have had to start over. When you teach yourself, you only learn trial by error. There we go.
1 hour down, 3 hours left. Everybody good?
Good. So we're an hour in. Tell us what you've got accomplished.
I decided to make my pastry cream fillings first to get them nice and cool before I try piping anything.
So you haven't even started on your
I haven't
pâte
started
choux
my
yet.
choux yet.
Okay.
After struggling with time in the signature, Jeevan is hoping to cook meringue eclairs, which will be filled with a lemon curd pastry cream, then topped with a toasted Italian meringue, and his chocolate pistachio eclairs, which will be filled with a pistachio pastry cream and topped with a chocolate glaze.
The 2 fillings, you have one which is the lemon curd with the creme pat.
The other one will be a pistachio pastry cream.
Is that blitz pistachios, roasted pistachios?
So I use a little bit of pistachio extract, and then I will also fold in some actual pistachios.
Pâte choux is piped to form the eclair. Must be just right to hold its shape.
It looks nice and smooth, and it falls from the spatula at the rate I want it to.
My choux came out a little looser than normal, so I'm not sure if my ratio was just slightly off today. Choux is something I'm typically really good at, so I'm gonna give it another go.
The temperature is 425. We want to give them a good blast of heat.
They're in.
Just chopping some chocolate creme patisserie, or otherwise known as pastry cream.
This is one of the easiest things to candy. It's just maple syrup and walnuts. I do this every fall. Yum, yum, yum.
The holiday season is a time to have a couple of drinks, and it's for people who are on the naughty list.
John is baking yet another boozy recipe. He'll be using eggnog and black raspberry liqueur to spice things up.
What is this right here?
This
I've
is
never
the
seen
little
this.
eclair cups. The eclairs will be placed on these.
Eclair cups.
Sounds
You
interesting.
can work on your. There you go.
Honestly, the most difficult part of this is that there are so many elements to it, so then just really watching the time.
Cheryl's white chocolate eclair will be filled with lemon white chocolate pastry cream. Her pistachio cream eclair will be topped with fresh raspberries.
We're looking for something with a little bit of holiday flair.
So for the pistachio, to me that's a screen. And then the lemon white chocolate, the citrus to me is very wintry.
You are winging this one, aren't you?
I'm not, no.
You're winging.
Cinnamon chai reminds me of the holidays. And then I'm putting little white snowmen on the cinnamon chai chocolate orange eclairs.
Amanda's orange pastry cream-filled eclairs will be topped with a chai tea icing. Her Napoleon eclairs will be filled with diplomat creme and fresh raspberries.
You've got to be careful with chai, I think. So
Yeah,
it is quite
so
strong.
I steep it in my cream and then put the chocolate in. Give that a smell.
Yeah.
It's still loose. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna pop it in the freezer.
I am just toasting some thyme that I'm gonna add to my lemon pastry cream.
Destiny is hoping to impress the judges with fresh toasted thyme in her lemon thyme eclairs. Her salted caramel eclair will be finished with a caramelized glaze. If only the judges liked everything toasted.
I just overcooked this batch. I'm gonna trash them. I can't use them.
They look really good, so I think they're ready to come out.
Puncturing the eclairs to let the steam out. No one wants a soggy eclair.
Right now I'm making holes so get some of the heat and the steam out. And this is actually where I'll be putting the filling as well.
See how it's kind of hollow? Yeah, you kind of want that. That's where the pastry cream is going to go. So I'm very happy with this.
All right, bakers.
We have 1 hour left.
While most bakers have taken their eclairs out to dry, some have fallen behind.
So what stage are you at now?
I'm about to get my eclair dough out of the freezer. It's just been resting.
Dough is in the freezer?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that the outside would get very cold and the inside would be very soft?
It possibly.
Oh, okay.
Chris's festive fall eclairs will feature a sweet potato pie eclair with piped brown sugar meringue and a caramel apple eclair filled with chopped caramelized apples.
I'm doing a pastry cream. Has all of your traditional spices that you'd find in a sweet potato pie.
You see, that's the one I go, am I going to like that? I've never had anything like that in my life for me.
I'm doing a key lime pie.
Key lime pie is one of my favorite things ever.
Oh, pressure, pressure, here we go.
Tina's fresh key lime pie eclair will feature a graham cracker crackling and a toasted meringue topping. Her hazelnut praline eclairs will be coated with an elegant chocolate mirror glaze.
Can you tell us more about crackling?
It's made of graham cracker cookie dough without the egg.
Look forward to this one.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now I'm filling my eclairs with pastry cream.
See, it's starting to overflow out, so you know that it's pretty full. You know that one's full.
Just half an hour left, bakers.
I'm just gonna try a new size.
So my shoe's just not working. I'm not gonna serve bad shoe. If I told you right now I wasn't a bit stressed, I'd be lying.
It is tits.
I'm not gonna serve bad shoe. Having to make this dough for the 3rd time is just affecting my time to do other things. Let's get this made so we can get it in the oven.
Come on.
I have to glaze these and then decorate them.
This shoe dough is finally where it needs to be. It's right.
15 minutes left.
When you cut the top off and the filling's gonna show, you want it to look pretty.
3rd time's a charm when it comes to shoe.
I think the judges are expecting them to look really nice. I left myself enough time to make them look the way that I wanted to, but I think it's more important to finish.
Five minutes left.
It's
coming down to the wire.
These are a little messy, but have to get something on the plate.
Bakers, we are getting very close now. You have 1 minute left.
Right now, I'm trying not to lose my mind.
I won't be satisfied till Paul and Sherry review them.
How can I help?
Get those. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh God, you need help.
10,
Oh God,
9,
no.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Andrea, you're up first.
What happened here with the breaks in the middle of the chocolate?
My dough, when it rose, it definitely cracked.
What flour did you use in your dough?
All-purpose flour.
If you had used the bread flour, then you would have had a little more structure.
This is maple.
That's correct.
It's a bit soggy. It's because it's so full with creme pat. That's why it's a bit soft. Did you pierce a hole in it?
I did not.
It's always a good idea.
Yeah.
But overall, not bad.
So we have a hot chocolate eclair and a hot toddy eclair.
And on the top is?
Those are candied lemon skis.
Of course they are. The taste is really festive. I think that works. The candy peel's delicious as well.
Thank you.
So you're the only one that decided to make a chocolate choux paste. And your choux casing is perfectly cooked.
Your icing could have been a little bit neater.
I had meant to pipe, but I just lost track of time.
Because the long dry, there's a lot of crust on there. You're tasting the eclair and not necessarily a lot of the filling.
And then the color, when you do red and it's going to be holiday red, if you add a touch of brown to it, it'll help turn it from that neon pinky kind of red to a little warmer holiday color. The salt just finishes off perfectly, yet starts with the lime. It's pretty close to perfection.
Your pastries are well baked, all of them are well baked. The flavour of it's rich, but it's not overly bitter. You've managed to create an eclair, which is a good thing. It's one of my favourite things to eat.
That's just mean.
I'm gonna get them back, don't worry about it. We got bourbon, I got alcohol in there.
It's just chocolate on the glaze, and the cream is just pistachio pastry cream. It might be the pistachio extract.
Extract, that's what it is.
It's pungent, isn't it? It's not nice. I don't like that flavour at all.
Your surgeon's hand is really showing perfectly piped, so you can really see how much of a cavity that you've created and how much cream goes in.
Yeah, your eggnog one was fantastic, though.
Thank you.
Well done. Not a massive fan of chai, but it's very good.
Very abstract. The chai, the bitter chocolate over the top. This one is my favorite.
Thank you.
Do you know what, Chris? I don't like that.
Okay.
The sweet potato is delicious. It really works. Actually, a perfect eclair. Very clever.
You don't look happy, Destiny.
Took a little bit more time than I should have.
The lemon and Thai ones do look awful, but the lemon is fantastic.
Destiny, every time you bake, you bring us flavor. It might not be the prettiest one out there, but we're always guaranteed a great flavor.
Thank you, Destiny.
Thank you.
Bakers, please leave the tent while our judge... Which baker shined in the showstopper?
Well, let's start with Chris. I loved his creativity. His bake was pretty spot on. He did well.
I think actually Jason and Tina, you could probably throw him in the mix as well. I think Tina's key lime pie was fantastic. And likewise, I think the hot toddy and the hot chocolate
I love
that Jason
hot
made.
chocolate.
It was full of ideas, it was original, it was different, and I think those two guys did really well.
So who's in danger of leaving?
And you look at Jeevan, for instance, in the signature, he struggled a bit. Cheryl struggled in the technical, and I think she struggled in the showstopper. And I think also Destiny, I think she struggled obviously today.
Right.
She was sort of mid-station in the signature, and again in the technical, again naturally puts her into a little bit of trouble.
That must be so difficult because I love the way she tries something new all the time.
It's really tricky. You have to be constant throughout all challenges to remain safe.
We have been on quite a ride this week.
The pastry game is intense, but let's start with the good news first. Star Baker.
The star baker is Chris. Well done.
And no matter how hard I tried to get out of it, I am forced to announce who is leaving. The baker exiting the tent today is Cheryl.
Pastry week was challenging. I might be going home, but I've had a great time and just very proud to be here.
Don't stop baking, Cheryl.
Oh, definitely no.
It comes down to minute parts of each challenge, and ultimately, Cheryl was the one at the bottom.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris was Star Baker this week because he brought it on every challenge, and then he finished off with these two eclairs: creativity, creativity, creativity.
I'm obviously this week went. I have to say it was a little stressful, but I'm super glad that I made that pâte à choux over. I didn't come all this way for nothing. I want to win.
In the tranquil night under the starlit sky, I find solace in the stillness as time goes by. Softly beats caress my soul like a gentle kiss. In this peaceful moment, there's nothing amiss. I chill in the air. In the quiet of the night, we find our peace. A melody of stars above sweetly. Lovely beats and chill stare, dreams we start to sway. In this down-tempo groove, we'll find our way.
The world outside may rush and spin, but in this moment it's just us within. Lofi vibes and chill step heights will softly soar. In this tranquil rhythm we'll explore. Chill in love, we let the worries go. In this musical embrace, our hearts aglow. Down in Poe dreams where time stands still. In the chill step flow, we find our thrill.
Soft piano keys and a mellow vibe. With every note we come alive. Lo-fi whispers in a gentle breeze. In this calm we find our inner peace.
The world outside may rush and spin, but in this moment it's just us within. Lofi vibes and chill step highs will softly soar. In this tranquil rhythm we'll explore. Chill in love, we let the worries go. In this musical embrace, our hearts aglow. Down in Poe dreams where time stands still. In the chill step flow, we find our thrill.
In the echoes of a distant melody, we find our sanctuary where we long to be. Lovely just stepping down to command. In this harmony, our souls entwine.
Chillin' low, we let the worries go. In this musical embrace, our hearts aglow. Down in Poe dreams where time stands still. In the chill step flow, we find our thrill.
As the night embraces the breaking dawn, in this tranquil rhythm we dawn.